Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with my WWE Raw review for tonight, Monday, November the 30th, 2015. Of course, coming to you from the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As we all know, WWE is kind of in a tough spot. The product is unexciting. Ratings are at the lowest in over 20 years. Hell, even Mick Foley was going to quit watching Raw if there wasn't a change in the programming of exciting. Enough is enough. It is time for a change. It's time for a new day to really come together. And for this Raw tonight, a very crucial Raw on a lot of fronts. WWE needs some urgency. In this Raw tonight, it was okay. Lots of shitty endings tonight. Lots of DQs. Lots of countouts. Usually, I'm not the biggest fan of shitty. I don't like screwy endings. I like clean endings. I like precise victors, not screwy endings. But despite my little qualm about these kind of endings, they call them dusty finishes. They kind of served the purpose, building up storylines. Finally, adding some more intrigue to storylines, unlike usual. WWE doesn't like to add intrigue to storylines. They're trying. But still, a long way to go to try to make it exciting again. And make us try to forget that Sheamus is world champion and Roman Reigns is feuding with them in a TLC match. At TLC. And that's how we started off Raw tonight. We also had a new faction. We saw sometime we have a new faction involving the world champion. And a couple returns. Including one return we thought was going to be somebody else. And we'll get to that in a bit. So we began with the New Day. Probably one of the only exciting things of all. Who'd have thought the New Day would be exciting? You know, when they first came in last year, they didn't change the character per se. They just put on new clothes. But New Day's really come together. I think they've become a really good heel faction. And they are fun to watch. They're probably one of the most entertaining things about Raw right now. Because the segments are so funny. Unless it was last week. Last week kind of fell flat. But this segment today came out and had some great heat on the Steelers fans, especially since Steelers lost in a very exciting game, though, against Seattle. Kind of more exciting than Raw tonight. Was the Seattle and Pittsburgh game. Especially they had a terrible towel out. Got some big heel heat by Big E blowing his nose with that. Right his chest with that. And all these fun things to get to the heel heat. Because there was some Steelers in the crowd. So New Day was saying it was a dawn of a new era. And there was a little confetti popping. And I was like, they already had their celebration. But instead, they weren't celebrating their 1 year anniversary again like they did last week. No, they were celebrating the reign of a champion that nobody wanted. Hey, you know what, Reigns? It's going to get worse. Sheamus is now world champion. So he came out in a corporate suit and slicked back hair. Well, that's what happens when you become a member of the authority. You kiss their ass and turn corporate with the suit. And his hair was actually nice. For once, Sheamus didn't look that stupid. He didn't, yes, look stupid in a suit, but hey, it's different to see him in a suit. It looked weird. It looked stupid. Okay, so, we had all this confetti, all this hoopla, and Newton was helping Sheamus become Celebrate champion. And happy he beat Roman Reigns, and his reign ended in only 5 minutes and 15 seconds. That Sheamus 5:15 says, I just kicked your ass. Lack of originality there. Whipping off somebody. Austin 3:16. But at least he's trying. It's going to be a t-shirt. Sheamus 5:15. It's kind of weird that 15 seconds is kind of Sheamus' magic number. That's how he beat Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 29. 15 seconds. So here we go. Pyro. More confetti fell down. Sheamus was relishing his pop. Yeah, he didn't have a proper celebration, but he had one tonight. But like what he did to Roman Reigns' celebration, because he saw Roman at Survivor Series. We all know the ending of Survivor Series. Roman won at last. Fans booed him to hell. Confetti fell, and all the fireworks, all the hoopla. Then Sheamus Bull kicked his head off and ruined the celebration. And of course, cashed in Money in the Bank. It was time for a little payback for Reigns, as Sheamus had his little celebration, holding the bell, fireworks going off. I don't know where Reigns came out. Superman punched his head off. So that's how we would lead to our match tonight. Reigns against Sheamus for the WWE Championship. That's one of the various problems with WWE these days. Giving away these title matches on a wall. They do it too many times. They had Cena Rollins before SummerSlam. They had a Rollins match against Sting before, well, it was tagged, but still it was a match before Night of Champions. And they had Reigns Kane match before the Hell in a Cell. So I didn't like where this was going, especially with a lot of stipulations added. That Roman Reigns must beat Sheamus to become champion in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. They're playing on this whole 5:15 thing. A little bit too much. Speaking of Survivor Series, it is disappointing matches. We have a Survivor Series rematch. Tyler Breeze against Dolph Ziggler. Now, Roman took the belt from Sheamus to end the segment. That's how we got to that match. The Authority made that match after Roman walked out of that segment after the Superman punched Sheamus, walked out with the belt. So now Breeze and Ziggler, I didn't like the ending of the match. It was too short and brief. This was a little better than their Survivor Series match. A lot better. Still not their best match, but I think it could come down to a third match, especially how we saw this match end. Very fun matchup with these two guys. Like it's a lot better than the match, the series. A lot more time. The ending was not as sudden, not as awkward as the ending of Survivor Series. As both guys, they're kind of equal. You know, it's been like a dream match on paper because they both kind of resemble each other. Very close resemblance. You know, Ziggler was a pretty boy, and now Tyler Breeze is kind of like Ziggler, only with a selfie stick. Basically, that's the only difference between Breeze and Ziggler. Ziggler never had a selfie stick. Breeze does. So these guys did some good kicks, great spots, more spots than anybody like Reigns or Sheamus could ever deliver. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of Sheamus and Reigns feud. Just punch and kick each other. They're not high flyers. That's why people like me like watch NXT because it's more high flying excitement, more fast paced action, and Ring of Honor as well. But we still watch Big Roster and still subscribe to the network. I do. So after great action from these guys, some big nasty kicks. Of course, Ziggler, his super kicks. Trying to nail him. And so the Breeze trying to over his insecurities. Some big holds. And a big sequence of near falls. The roll up near falls. And after this sequence, the sequence of events, multiple pinfall attempts. Ziggler finally got to nail the super kick. 1-2-3 victory for Dolph Ziggler. We also had to see during that sequence as well, in the middle of that, we saw Breeze. Apparently he's been using Christian's own finisher, the Unprettier, for his finish instead of the beauty shot. That's like a Seth Rollins going from the curb stomp to the pedigree. Weird. So there you go. Ziggler wins this match. So each guy has beat each other once. So I think we could head towards a woman match. Like I said in the beginning here, that we may have a woman match because of the ending of this match with Ziggler winning. And they haven't put on the best match yet. But I think now that we may have a woman match, the third match might be the best. Now on to our next scenario. Miz TV with Rusev. And the return of Lana. The first of two returns tonight. Of course, Lana's been out with a wrist injury, but more importantly, she was taken out after the news of Rusev and Lana got engaged. It kind of ruined the storyline that they were building with Rusev and Summer Rae. They abruptly ended that whole storyline when the news of Lana and Rusev got engaged, leaked on TMZ. Because nobody likes to keep storyline and real life situations separate. And unfortunately, kayfabe was broken by TMZ. They tried to salvage this whole feud, and like it was a weird storyline to begin with. This whole love triangle thing, this love square, that never got a proper conclusion because of this whole engagement thing and Lana getting injured as well. It was like a double-edged sword. You know, we never got to see a Lana Summerweight match they were building towards. We never get one. Like I said, the end just ended suddenly because of this whole sequence of events that happened. So Lana, who's heel again, no explanation kind of. Well, there was a little explanation. WWE logic explanation when Miz said, "How did you guys get back together, especially after this feud you guys had?" You know, trying to say kayfabe face. Lana's like, always forgiven. Then my love for him grew stronger. Because now, like I said, they're real life engaged. So it's kind of like the kiss was kind of awkward though. Even when it got more awkward when Miz mentioned the fact with the whole Summer Rae thing. It got funny when Miz mentioned Summer Rae being Lana 2.0. That Rusev said he didn't go all the way with Summer. And Lana said she didn't go all the way with Ziggler. The crowd in Pittsburgh a little better than the crowd in Atlanta. At least they were chanting, "Yes, you did. Yes, you did." Both Lana and Rusev, and they both denied that they didn't go full on with either Summer or Dolph. So they had then after that sequence, they had that kiss. Then Ryback came out for a match against Rusev. Okay, he's second this. Blah 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 blah. I thought they'd have a feud this year for the U.S. Championship when Ryback was kind of over. Even Rusev was over, too. So now we have Rusev and Ryback. And this is when the DQs and the screwy endings would begin. As Rusev and Ryback had an okay little matchup that ended, like I said, abruptly with the screwy ending. So they brought in the ring with some big kicks and punches. That's all they can do because they're tough guys. And limited mobility. Just punching, kicking, and clotheslines. They brought the outside. And Lana was kind of precariously placed by the steel steps. Ryback Irish whipped Rusev into the steel steps. As Rusev landed on the steel steps, Lana was next to it, and the steel steps, the impact of Rusev against the steel steps knocked Lana over. And Rusev cared more about Lana than the match. He got counted out after Lana got taken down with the impact of the steel steps. It was a pure accident, storyline-wise. So there you go. So, but at least screwy ending kind of, that was the only, like I said, all the screwy endings tonight served the purpose. I don't know how that screwy ending served the purpose for Rusev and Ryback. I don't think it's going to lead to anything. Maybe it'll lead to something about Ryback getting blamed for Lana's injury. It was an accident, but Rusev's going to say it wasn't an accident. That Rusev may say that Ryback did the clothesline against the steps and knocked Lana over by purpose, not accidentally. So we'll see how that goes. Now on to a feud that is interesting. Dudley's against the Wyatt family. We may be heading towards a tables match between the Dudleys and the Wyatt family, either two of them, at the TLC pay-per-view. It started last week when the Wyatts beat the Dudleys in a tag match and beat them up and even put them through a table on Thursday. I thought that match might be reserved for Dudleys and Ascension. But it's we Wyatts getting over. And this is an interesting feud and a pivotal feud for Wyatts. Because they really need to get over here. Because other feuds have ended up starting the same. They looked good in the beginning, but then in the culminant matchup, they lose. They become just pure foils. They play that role in the Roman Reigns Ambrose feud and play that role in the most recent feud against Taker and Kane despite a great build-up to them. Like, it's sad they get all this build-up, yet they end up losing in a culminant match. Hopefully they don't do that this time. I think Dudley's are in it for themselves. They're in to push young talent, and hopefully they're on the right track. Especially how this segment went down. So Dudley's put out these tables with the Wyatt's names on them. Kind of copying or whipping off when Bubba, going by Bully Ray in TNA, had his feud against the Carter family, Dixie Carter, had the names of Dixie and EC3 and Rockstar Spud, taking them out one by one till we finally put Dixie through that table. So Doug's like, bring your family out. We want to put you through these tables, boys. So here comes all four of the Wyatt family members. Braun Strowman, Harper, Rowan, and of course Bray Wyatt. And the showdown was about to set place. But Dudley's like, well, there's four of you. We got your family. We got ours. And I wasn't the only one thinking this. Spike Dudley! We want Spike! Tommy Dreamer! Okay, but we wanted Spike Dudley. We want a full-on Dudley Boy reunion. Come on. If we want a Dudley Boy reunion, Spike Dudley. I'm not the only. I probably can attest to that. I'm not the only one who felt a little gypped and a little disappointed that it wanted Spike Dudley. Nothing against Tommy Dreamer. I'm sorry. I love WWE Dreamer. I know Raw's in Pennsylvania. They're not in Philly, but Pittsburgh's close enough. You know, the home state of ECW. Tommy's got an indie promotion. I understand why Tommy could be involved, but come on, when you said family, it made us like to believe that Spike Dudley, bring him back at some point. Bring back the want of the Dudley family. Unless he's retired. If he's retired, okay. But if he's still wrestling out there, bring back Spike Dudley. We want the full Dudley Boy reunion. Dudley family reunion. Don't tease us when Dudley Boy say the word family, you're just teasing us thinking it's Dudley. A Dudley. Spike Dudley. So, after a little disappointment with Tommy Dreamer being bought in instead of Spike, which, like I said, nothing against Tommy, but we were like I said, like we were kind of, he's like the scapegoat here. He's going to get all the attacks from us saying that we wanted Spike instead of you. Because I looked on Twitter later on, during that segment, I was like, I'm not the only one who felt like it should have been Spike. So it led towards a six-man tag. Should have been a DQ. Should have been no DQ, man. Especially when Tommy bought a trash can full of weapons. And they used them to taunt the Dudley Boy, to taunt the Wyatts, should I say. The Dudley Boys and Tommy used those weapons to taunt the Wyatts. Then led towards a six-man tag. Maybe we may have a no DQ six-man tag event, especially the ending of this match. Remember what I said about screwy endings? We had another one here. After a decent start for the Dudleys with some great double team moves, here comes this Wyatt family to come in with the big moves from Harper and Warren, big nasty clothesline. Still, Strowman came in and came in like a monster on Tommy Dreamer, with isolating Tommy until Warren got the hot tag in for the Wyatt team, dominating on Tommy until Bobby Wayne came in to get the hot tag when the Tommy got isolated. But then all six men were in there and the referee lost control. No contest. Especially the Wyatts were coming, like all three Wyatts were coming in, and referee couldn't get them out before the count of 5 to break off when the legal guy should have been in there. So that's what happened. No contest when all three Wyatts came in. The beatdown was on. They're bringing up at the Dudleys and Tommy Dreamer. And Dudleys had a table set up. But the table was set up by the Wyatt family. They were thinking about putting a Dudley through a table. So Dudley's still isolated. They're ready to set one of the Dudleys or Tommy Dreamer through a table. But as Wyatt was on the apron, Bubba Ray got back up. He pushed Bray Wyatt onto the table that was set up. So there you go. Wyatt was pushed to a table. Dudleys and Tommy Dreamer flee following that little move. So, yes, like I said, once again, we had a screwy ending, but it's building more interest in the Dudleys Wyatt feud. We could see a six-man tag, a no DQ match next week on Raw, because it is the last Raw before TLC, before we see Dudley Boys against the Wyatts, 2-on-2 in a tables match. There should be a tables match at TLC, come on. And a table match must be involving the Dudley Boys, and it looks like we're heading in that direction. With Dudleys and Wyatts. Should be Harper and Warren against Duds. Speaking of Dudley heading in certain directions, we've been seeing for weeks, for at least last week, that the Usos and Lucha Dragons and New Day are heading towards a possible triple threat match. for the tag team titles, the TLC. Especially since I've been seeing advertisements for the WWE house show here in Detroit. I live near Detroit. And about the day after Christmas. And they're advertising a triple threat tag team match for their house show. So like they're doing the triple threats during house shows. They gotta do a triple threat pay-per-view. How are they gonna set it up? They kind of set it up last week when New Day had that open challenge that never happened. So we would set up the triple threat by having a number one contenders match between the Usos and Lucha Dragons. But before we had that number one contenders match between the Usos and Lucha Dragons, we would have a match between the U.S. champion, Alberto Del Rio, taking on Goldust. Of course, Alberto Del Rio and this whole Mex America thing, it's kind of falling flat, but it's okay. It's good to really see Zap culture on the Alberto's side, especially after being so long in Swagger. Speaking of heading in certain directions, we're heading towards the direction of a Swagger Del Rio feud. We saw that confrontation last week, and after Del Rio got a quick win over Goldust. It was an okay little squasher, with Goldust coming with some big moves, some DDT moves, till, of course, Del Rio came in with some big moves, big kicks, and, of course, putting him in the corner, and setting up the big knee stomp, and, of course, the 1-2-3 victory for Alberto Del Rio. As he beat up on Goldust after the match, including putting him in the cross arm breaker, here comes Swagger, and Del Rio ran again like he did last week. So we're heading towards in that direction, like I said, Del Rio Swagger. Makes sense because of Swagger's relationship in the past with now Del Rio's manager, Zap Coulter. Still weird to say Del Rio's manager, Zap Coulter. Sorry, allergies are acting up. Plus, my dad's got a cold too, man. I caught that, but I hope I didn't. So now we're on to the number one contenders match for the tag team titles. The Usos against the Lucha Dragons. New Day on commentary. And they're more fun on commentary than the regular commentary team. And it was beginning to be looking like a really good matchup between the Usos and Lucha Dragons. Two very good high-flying teams. Big high-flying moves from both teams. But in the back of my mind, even though they're putting on a good high-flying matchup, I was like, New Day's at ringside. And we've been building towards a possible triple threat. What's the perfect way to set up a triple threat match? Another screwy ending! With New Day getting involved. And that's exactly what happened. After the Usos and Lucha Dragons were flying all over the place, the New Day got in the ring, beat up both teams, causing a double disqualification. That means both teams lost. So New Day, playing the good heels they are, trying to find an easy way out of a title match, screwing both teams out of an opportunity. But ending up being in a triple threat anyways. The Authority set up a triple threat between the Usos and the Dragons and the New Day for TLC. But the Usos spot in TLC, as well as Dean Ambrose' spot in TLC against Kevin Owens for the IC Championship, were put in jeopardy. Remember what I said earlier? We had that match coming up that was made that had Roman Reigns against Sheamus for the WWE Whatever Championship. That the stipulation was added that Roman Reigns needs to win the championship, and the only way he could is to beat Sheamus in 5 minutes and 15 seconds. What if he wasn't able to beat Sheamus in that time frame? Usos would lose their title shot, and so would Ambrose losing his title shot. Grown on that storyline front. The other people who deserve title shots, we got Sasha Banks taking on Brie Bella. The lone Bella left since Nikki suffering a neck injury. And Brie Bella delivering some moves makes us think of the only man who I think could really get ratings back. WWE thinks getting ratings back requires bringing back some old guys. Bringing back Tommy Dreamer, Ric Flair. Hell, you had Austin and Shawn Michaels. And it still didn't do enough ratings. Is there a chance that WWE can get the ratings back? Maybe. Yes. Do we know who they should bring back and finally clear his ass? So maybe they could give a chance to get some ratings back? There's one man. Is there that man? Do we know that man? Yes. Yes, Daniel Bryan, man. WWE's in desperate mode. People are getting injured like crazy. Ratings are floundering. Hey, just Like, yes, he's injury prone, but hey, at least bring back Daniel Bryan for ratings' sake. At least bring back some hope for WWE to bring back D. Bryan. We'll see if they ever clear him. Because Daniel Bryan's like, in interviews in the past, that his doctors have cleared him, but WWE doctors won't clear him. So we have his wife wrestling, and she's not the best. She's okay, but in my mind, Sasha in this match, she carried the match. In my mind, it was an okay Divas match. Sasha should have had more time with Becky Lynch last week. They only had 4 minutes. They should have had more time. Like they did in NXT. Like I said, that's the thing with the Divas Revolution. They're not giving the Divas the time and effort to build up feuds like they do in NXT. The freedom to have good booking and good matches, that freedom's taken away in the main roster. It's kind of being restricted. The Divas and everyone in the WWE roster needs to break those chains, break those restrictions, take chances, make mistakes, get risky. Sorry I'm making a reference to a match, a school bus reference, that's all what I am. You make fun of all you want, but hey, that's what WWE needs to do. They need to take chances. No one's taking chances. They're going the predictable route. That's why it's unexciting. That's why ratings are floundering. There's nothing risky or exciting to make us want to watch it. They're doing the same old shit. That's the bottom fucking line. So Sasha had an okay match with Brie Bella with a little bit of interference from Team Bad. Taking out Alicia Fox. Because in other game, we're in the Bella's favor, but now with, like I said, Nikki out, Brie's the only real Bella left, along with Alicia Fox. The only members of Team Bella left. So after Alicia Fox got taken out, Sasha took advantage of all the distractions, beating up Brie, but Brie had some offensive modes, some okay offense, including, of course, her husband's kicks. But then another distraction from T-Man would lead to the finish, with Sasha capitalizing on that distraction with the bank statement. And a tap out for Brie, and a victory for Sasha Banks. Do I need to say it again? Say what again? Say what again? Say Charlotte and Sasha again. I dare me. I dare me. I dare me to say, make Charlotte and Sasha happen one more goddamn time. That's the point. Sound like a broken record. Saying it every single week. And I'm not the only one saying it. Sasha Charlotte for the Divas title needs to motherfucking happen. Fuck Paige. Sasha needs to replace Paige. WWE needs to give those two the opportunity to put on the matches they did back in NXT. On the main roster. That's the thing. Break those restrictions that's been holding them down from really progressing. Fuck the obstacles. Make them have the matches they deserve to have on the main roster like they did in NXT. Sasha Charlotte the right fucking way. Soon. I even said WrestleMania. But the future is now, people. Get it through your heads, WWE. Get it through your head, Vince. You out of touch bastard. I love you. You are a genius, Vince. WWE, we love you, but you need to step out of the way. You don't see things in a new way. Triple H sees it. That's why NXT is so successful, because Triple H runs it. Vince relies on the old tried and true. The strong guard. Super Reign, Super Cena. Bruce Dam. And leave the little guys like Neville on the mid-card. Fuck you, man. Get a little weighty this week, but everybody's feeling this anxiousness. Foley can't take it anymore. We all can't take it. We're not gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. That's what WWE's driven us to. Driven us to insanity because of this stupid ass booking in the way. They're pushing guys aside that should be pushed while shoving guys down off bolts that don't deserve it. Like Sheamus and Reigns. Speaking of which, we're going to have the match between Sheamus and Reigns next for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. One of WWE's major downfalls, giving away title matches on pay-per-view on TV. Well, like I said, the stipulation that if Reigns wins the championship in less than 5 minutes, in 15 seconds, we would have Reigns as champion. But if Reigns doesn't beat Sheamus in 5 minutes, not only would he lose his opportunity, Usos and Dean Ambrose would lose their respective opportunities. As Stephanie and Triple H says, The decisions that Roman makes not only affects him, but affects his whole friends and family. Of course, references to the fact that Roman Reigns refused to join the Authority. Basically, second attack against him because he didn't join him. The old saying goes, you're with them or against them. If you're against them, you get buried. You get destroyed. That's what happened in all these stipulations against Reigns. Having to beat Sheamus in 5 minutes, and with his title opportunities and his friends' opportunities on the line. So this match being a short match is okay, with a lot of urgency. I wish there was more urgency from WWE Creative than from Reigns. Because Reigns had urgency, because he needed to beat Sheamus in a certain amount of time to become champion. Like I said, I wish that urgency was in WWE, because I heard Vince doesn't care about the ratings. Oh, he should care. He should care. He should. Because WWE's starting to look like WCW, with the bad booking, pushing the same guys over and over again. So there you go. So Sheamus and Reigns are basically on the ball, and as we look down the clock with a minute left, Reigns going for his drive-by, big moves, big punches, big clotheslines, setting up spear and Superman punch. I was looking at the clock, and I was like, maybe the only way Reigns can win is if he wins by DQ. Once again, the screwy endings we've been seeing tonight. Like I said, serving purpose to build up storylines. And what did you know? Another screwy ending! With a purpose. Building a new stable. We could have seen King Barry get involved in the Sheamus and Reigns match last week, adding a little bit more intrigue in that. So now we have a little bit of collusion. A little bit of a coalition here between Sheamus, Rusev, and Barrett building. But it didn't really build up to anything good until the end of this matchup. As Reigns looked like he was going for the win with a minute left, here comes King Barrett to save the day in Rusev 2 to make the save. Dragging out Reigns before the victory, causing disqualification. So Reigns technically beat Sheamus in 5 minutes, saving his title opportunity and saving the opportunities for both Ambrose and the Usos. But he won by DQ, thanks to the interference from the newly formed League of Nations, as Del Rio was added too. At least to try to add some intrigue in this because the fans aren't digging it. Like I said, they're shoving things on our throat that we don't need, that we don't want. That's kind of weird that we don't want Reigns. Yet, now we're getting something we really don't want as well. Sheamus. It's like, you win some, you lose some. You know, hey, yay, Reigns ain't champion, but Sheamus is. It's like the good news, bad news. The good news is Reigns is the champion. Being shoved down our throats, the guy we didn't want as champion isn't. That's the good news. Bad news is another guy we don't want as champion is champion. Sheamus. So there you go. And then after the League of Nations came in, here comes the Usos and Ambrose to build up our main event for the night. Because I was like, the placement of this match to begin the second hour left the main event. So there you go. Main event set. 8-man tag. Or so we thought was an 8-man tag. Now on to our next matchup. Charlotte against Becky Lynch. Hopefully they would have more time than Becky had with Sasha last week. And Charlotte came out in what she called a match of friendly competition with Ric Flair in her corner and Paige at commentary. They're trying to continue the Paige-Charlotte feud, especially after the ending of last week's match. The match last week was way better than the Survivor Series match, for sure. But once again, Charlotte, Sasha will be more bankable. Sorry to use the pun. More profitable than a Paige-Charlotte feud. The fans aren't interested in that. They try to get some cheap heat on it, but the fans ain't seen it. We want Sasha Charlotte, damn it. Don't need to say that again. I'm beating the dead horse. I'm beating it. I'm beating this hammer through the WWE's head. And I'm not the only one banging it into the WWE's head, banging it every week to get a Sasha Charlotte match going. So we saw Charlotte taking on Becky in a decent little match. And they had an okay amount of time. Some good action. Friendly competition. Great action. Maybe a little bit more time would have been helpful, but still. And I liked Charlotte's promo before this when she made the match with Becky. We need to do it like we did in NXT. That's the thing, the restrictions on the main roster. That's why now the NXT guys haven't had an opportunity because they weren't given the openness, they weren't given the freedom they had at NXT. The freedom they had at NXT has been restricted to the main roster. That's why you see guys like Neville floundering and Lucha Dragons floundering, even though they're all in the title picture finally. And of course, the Ascension, the biggest casualty, floundering because the restrictions are too much to bear on the main roster. There's too many restrictions. You can't do this. You can't do that. You can't take 10. You can't take chances. You can't take risk. They're scared about taking risk. You need to take risk. That's what will make us want to watch this. You didn't want to take the risk of Reigns and or Ambrose to the heel at Survivor Series. You didn't want to take that risk. You fucking fair with Sheamus. Sorry I'm ranting this week, but a lot of emotion. Like I said, I'm not the only one. A lot of people, because this booking is making us. This booking from WWE is making us crazy. Like I said, including Mick Foley. So Charlotte had a little matchup with Becky. And then good action. Charlotte went for a little move on the top rope. She kind of tricked her knee. Well, letting her close on front of the rope. Or so we thought. She was tricking her knee. Then Becky was distracted by Ric Flair. He came up to the apron, wanted to look at Charlotte. But then as Becky was cheating with Rick, Charlotte kind of was playing possum. She leaned back on her feet, capitalized on that distraction, 1-2-3 victory for Charlotte. Even if she didn't want to be a dirty player, she has those genes. After all, she is the daughter of the dirtiest player in the game. Becky wasn't too happy with Charlotte's actions with her playing possum and capitalizing on a distraction from her dad. And Paige stood about told you so. Maybe Paige could turn heel. Not Paige, Becky. I remember Becky was like the babyface at NXT. And she wasn't getting nowhere as a babyface. And then she joined forces with Sasha Banks. That's what really got her over, was turning heel when the nice girl act wasn't going to get her nowhere. And she turned heel with Sasha Banks. And that's what could be seen here. That Becky Lynch could be seen that being the good girl doesn't get you anywhere. You got to play dirty. You got to turn heel the main roster as well as in NXT. Because Becky, like Sasha, is being shoved over because, like I said, the restrictions. The freedom is being taken away. Oppression. We want suppression. I don't know what I'm saying, but hey, fancy words. So on to main event, an 8-man tag with the newly formed League of Nations. They take on the Usos, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns. But then that 4-man tag, 8-man tag, turned into a 7-on-4 handicap match with the New Day coming in. This tag the deck once again on Roman Reigns. First, he had those restrictions in the title match against Sheamus, and now we have this numbers game really stacked in favor of the League of Nations with the New Day adding into it. A lot of isolation from the heels onto the good guys, especially the Usos, getting isolated early on. With, of course, New Day coming in with some big, nasty moves. Like, it was early on, like the first part of the match, the good guys could have some offense in, especially Usos and Reigns. But like I said, the heels took over specifically with the New Day, isolating Jay in their corner, with the tags in and out with them, just isolating them, including tagging in Sheamus to take care of Jimmy. But then Jay got the hot tag in. But then as Jay got isolated, then Jimmy got in the hot tag, some big high flying moves. Those high flying moves cost him. As there was mayhem on the floor, including a double drive-by from Reigns to Woods and Kofi. That was a cool little spot. Jimmy went for a big move. But then he got injured. Jimmy got injured with a knee injury. Another bad timing. Man, I hope this is a storyline injury. If this is a legit injury, Jimmy Uso getting injured legitly, it's sad. We've seen a lot of people get injured. The biggest casualty right now is too many people getting injured. Another bad, and this would be really, once again, bad timing if the Usos take it out. Because they just came back after one of them just had a shoulder injury. You know, Jay just got back from a shoulder injury. They just came back. They're about to be in a triple threat with Uso taking on New Day and Lucha Dragons. And if Jimmy's injury is legit, as we take it out again, man, bad series of events for the Usos. And with that injury, it came down to 3-on-7. And Numbers game was once again really in the favor of the heels, who really dominated this 7-on-3 handicap tag. It was okay tag for what it was. Decent little main event with a lot of beatdowns in this matchup, especially the isolation in the corners, with the heels really looking good against the bad guys, looking good against the good guys. But that Ambrose got in the hot tag finally after Jay got taken down and isolated a lot. And Ambrose tried to fight off for his team, and we had all the finishers: clothesline, super kicks, spears, all these big moves. But the numbers game was once again too much to bear. Despite great effort from Waynes and his team, the numbers game got the best of the good guy team. As Wayne tried to take out Sheamus, when Sheamus got back into Wayne, and Biggie got clotheslined by Reigns, and Ambrose, who was the little guy, tried his best with his big moves before getting broke kicked by Sheamus, with all the good guys taken out, with Jay taken down, Wayne taken down, being isolated by Rusev on the outside, beat down against the barricade. 1-2-3 victory for Sheamus and the League of Nations. And we would see the beatdown as the heels stood tall, as the New Day in League of Nations, the newly formed League of Nations, stood tall to end war. With Reigns set back on the outside with a disgruntled look of a bad night. He got taken down with the, he won the match against Sheamus, but it was a DQ victory. It saved his shot at TLC and saved his friend's shots. And of course, you had the numbers stacked against you. If you're with the authority, everything's good. If you're against authority, you get the odds stacked. And that's what's happening with this whole situation. So there you go. Little up and down walk. There was some storyline building. Making some effort of building interesting storylines. At least doing more effort than the Survivor Series, when all the effort was put into the title tournament after Rollins got injured. Aim for effort, but execution, yeah. A lot of screwy endings, but hey, most of them served the purpose. But next week, WWE, even though screwy endings serve purpose, no more next week. Have mostly every match end clean next week, because it is the last one before TLC. And the go-home show be somewhat exciting next week. We'll just see how they do. As frustration begins to mount in the back, and of course frustration with the fans. Because of all the shady booking. And that is it for my wall review for tonight. Thank you very much for watching and bearing with my little rants throughout the video. But like I said, I'm not the only one that tested this. This whole booking is making a lot of wrestling fans go crazy and question our loyalty to WWE. Mick Foley's questioning it because of all the shady booking. We're all feeling frustration. We're all feeling angry against WWE. Of course, everyone's going to say, the only way to fix your anger, change the channel. But we love it so much, man. It's a drug. It's a habit. It's like quitting cigarettes. It's tough to quit because wrestling's so much fun and addictive. Well, there is alternatives. Like I said, NXT, Ring of Honor, go down the list. Fuck TNA. They suck now. So that's it. Once again, my wall review. Thank you much for watching. And like I said, bear with me through all this. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the review from Zach. See you later. Thank you. Yeah.